Be the Zombie multiplayer. I'm sure most of you know this already, but the Be the Zombie game mode consists of a 4v1 competitive multiplayer mode in Dying Light, where 4 human survivors face off against a super infected called the Night Hunter. This is Globku from Magical Noob, and today we're analyzing this game mode from the perspective of the humans and the zombie. Welcome to Dying Talk, episode 8. First things first, a friendly reminder that this game mode is exclusive for those who pre-order the game. If you don't pre-order, you don't get to play any of this. I've said it before, but I believe this might later become available as paid DLC, but there's no way of knowing it for sure. So, what's your goal in this game mode? Well, from the Night Hunter's perspective, it's pretty simple. Kill the humans. As the Night Hunter, you're actually sort of immortal. If you get killed, you'll just respawn, so the humans have a slightly different objective. As soon as the Night Hunter invades someone's world, 3 zombie hives will spawn. These are what allowed the Night Hunter to be reborn whenever killed, so the human's objective is to destroy the hives before the Night Hunter destroys them. So that is the general concept, but let's look at this game mode with a bit more detail. Let's start with a human's perspective on this. As I've mentioned before in this series, Dying Light will support up to 4-player co-op, and apart from the tutorial mission, a player can join your game at any time. Drop in, drop out, it's what it's called, because it doesn't matter where you are in the game. If you're in the middle of a mission, if you're at the start or at the end of the game, you can always have a partner join you and leave you at any point. And at any point, you can be invaded by a Night Hunter. This integration will be seamless. You'll just get a message in the middle of your screen saying you're being invaded, whatever your game progress is. Or at least that's what Techland is saying. Personally, I don't think it will be possible, or it shouldn't be possible, to invade you during main story missions, because these will be full of unique areas and scripted events. An invasion at this point would not only be immersion breaking, but also very frustrating and unfair, because the chances are you'd have to give up on the mission to deal with the Night Hunter and then start it all over again after you defeat him. So hopefully Techland have this in mind, and they're limiting the evasions to when a player is not in the middle of a story mission. Oh, also the Night Hunter only hunts at night, so you'll be safe during the day. Techland has also mentioned that you'll bring your skill upgrades and crafted weapons into this mode. Since the integration is seamless, you won't leave your game at all. You'll still be playing with the same character, holding the same items, having the same skills unlocked. But when I look at the first footage we got from this game mode, I question if there are limitations to this. When the demo starts, they're showing off co-op and crafted weapons, but then there's a hard cut when the Night Hunter invades, and suddenly both characters are just holding regular hammers. Now, it might be that when the footage cuts to the invasion, we're watching a different character on a different playthrough, but I wonder if there's a limitation on the weapons imposed specifically for this game mode. It would be understandable. You want to feel powerful with all these crafted treasures of massacre when you're playing single player and co-op, but when you bring PvP into the table, you have to think about balance. So while I might be drawing conclusions from very thin evidence, it is something to consider and perhaps something to expect from this game mode. Having some crafted weapons against the Night Hunter might make the game unbalanced, so limitations aren't the worst idea in the world. As a human in this game mode, you gain 2 new abilities. One of them is called the Survivor Sense. This allows you to know if the Night Hunter is nearby and where it's coming from. There's a pulse that the player uses, and when it turns red, you know that the Night Hunter is close, and you also get an idea of its general location. We've also seen this in the single player on the gameplay demo we got 2 years ago, but the developers seem to be talking about this ability as if it's unique to this game mode. So maybe changes to the game have been made in the meantime and you can no longer use this ability on single player, or it's an unlockable ability that you might not have access to, but you'll still be able to use it if you get invaded by a Night Hunter. The second ability that the humans have is a UV flashlight. It seems that the Night Hunter is not a fan of that, so whenever you point the flashlight at it, it won't be able to use any of its abilities, leaving it no other choice but to flee and remain hidden until it can catch you by surprise. It also helps you locate the Night Hunter since the flashlight turns purple whenever you shine the light on the zombie or close to it. That's the survivor side of things. Let's switch over to the Night Hunter's perspective. First, the integration won't be seamless. You'll actually have to stop playing your single player game and probably go through a menu or something to invade someone's world and become the Night Hunter. Once you invade that person's world, you still play in a first person perspective and you unlock several abilities which can be used to move around and kill the humans. Also, if you play as the Night Hunter, you unlock skills that can be used on the skill tree for the Night Hunter himself. So there's also a progress system for this special zombie. Let's begin by looking at the monster's movement abilities. As the Night Hunter, you are faster and more agile than the humans. You run faster, you jump higher, and you have this grappling hook that allows you to move even faster than that. Now, I'm not sure if there's a cooldown associated with the grappling hook. I imagine there is, because man, that thing makes you move really fast. But we also see the Night Hunter use it all the time in the trailers, so if there is indeed a cooldown associated with the grapple, it's probably very, very short. Now, as far as combat goes, most of your moves can be interrupted by a single hit of a weapon or the UV flashlight, so it is crucial that you isolate and catch the humans by surprise. Your main killing move seems to be the pounce, and this seems to work like the hunter in Left 4 Dead. You jump on top of a human, give it a couple of seconds, and bam, he's dead. It's really quick, but as I've mentioned, a single hit by an ally is enough to interrupt the killing animation. You can also push players with your superior strength. You can pretty much knock them back anywhere you want, and in the right place this can be a lethal move. For example, when you push a player into spikes. The grappling hook seems to be associated with both of these killing moves. It seems possible, but I'm not confirming this because it's not very clear whether or not it's true. But it seems that you can use the grappling hook on a player and then go into the pouncing animation or just push him, and that sounds really cool. Now, if you do get caught out by the players, if they see you and point a UV flashlight at you, they will probably try to kill you, because while you're respawning, they can go for the hives without a problem. But in that situation, if you get caught out and you can't run away, you can still use a ground pound, which will stagger all the humans around you, giving you a small window to slip away. And those are the perspectives of the human players and the perspective of the Night Hunter, but I still have some questions that I would like to see answered about this game mode. For instance, the game world seems to be deserted in all the gameplay that we've seen on this game mode. Do all the other zombies disappear when you get invaded? It sure seems to be the case. Another point I'm curious to know, and this would actually be my first question if I got an interview with the developers, is how they are balancing the Night Hunter to be competitive against a single human player and at the same time against 4 human players, because remember, you could be playing by yourself or with 3 other friends whenever the Night Hunter invades you. And the game has to be fun either way, right? The Night Hunter seems really overpowered if you don't have at least one friend playing with you. After all, it can just pounce on top of you and immediately kill you if you don't have anyone there to get it off. But I guess these are only a few questions out of many unanswered ones. PvP brings in a lot of discussion, and I'm curious as to what you guys would like to know. Got any burning questions about PvP you'd like to see answered? Join the debate on the comments below. While you're down there, click the like button if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe for more. Thank you all for watching, take care, and I'll see you next time.